and snowy week in the D, but hey, we here, man. So let's talk about the Jets. For the most part, it looked like they told Aaron Rodgers they was moving on. Hired Aaron Glenn. Heard, one of the major things that Aaron Glenn wanted to do was he wanted to speak to Aaron Rodgers. He flew out to Jersey, spoke to them. Apparently the Jets, or reportedly the Jets, told him that the service is no longer needed. Also, that probably mean they're going to be moving on from Devontae Adams, and kind of knowing Aaron Glenn as a no-nonsense type of coach, coaching my Lions. Check out my Detroit channel, Mercy Sports Talk. That link's inside the link tree. It's the first link in the description. You go through the link tree, you can see wherever we're producing content at. Join the Patreon. Check out the NFL playlist, by the way, too. So, I already kind of knew he wasn't probably going to be, putting up with Aaron Rodgers' bull jive. Just kind of knowing, how Aaron Glenn built and how he was in Detroit. So, yeah, that don't surprise me pretty much none, man. So, I wonder what the Jets plan is for a quarterback. But now, they basically saying with Aaron Rodgers flying out there and meeting face-to-face with them that he still wants to play. And we'll kind of talk about the best spots for him. But, yeah, looking at him and, it just didn't work out in the Jets. And, a lot of quarterbacks didn't work out with Jets. Remember the guy that he was the successor of, and Brett Favre went out there and it didn't work out. He went to Minnesota, and it worked out for him very well. So the Jets kind of got that Cleveland Brown effect over their franchise where, it just can't go right under the quarterbacks. And a lot of people was, basically saying that in hindsight that Zach Wilson got a raw deal. And, if I had a client and the Jets had, drafted my client high, I would be like, hell no. As a quarterback, hell no. Y'all have shown to be, the quarterback graveyard with Cleveland. Say what you say about my Lions, but quarterbacks have come to Detroit and put up numbers. In Cleveland and Jets just seem like, that's where quarterbacks, go to die. It's a quarterback graveyard. So, yeah, you got to change that. And that's always the hardest thing to do, is go out there and get a quarterback. When you're taking over a new franchise as a head coach, and when you're a head coach, you got the pick of the litter, you picking a franchise that got a quarterback. That's the first thing you're looking at. You riding with somebody who got a quarterback. You ride with somebody who got a quarterback. And as simple as that. But didn't surprise me. Didn't go that way. They're going to try the younger route again, possibly. They obviously have to have a plan in place. It sounds like the Tennessee Titans want to trade down. It's funny when there's two black quarterbacks at the top of the draft. All of a sudden, neither one of them is really worthy. How many times we seen unworthy quarterbacks go high? We talking about Ryan Leaf and, Mitchell Trubisky and, even guys inside the top 10, Jake Locker, Blake Bortles was somewhere in there. And we knew they weren't worth a damn. You know what I'm saying? So, all of a sudden, we want to trade down, and we don't. Okay, they try to do it with Cam Newton too. Try to put Jake Locker over Cam Newton, and he okay. So that's the story of the black quarterback. That's another story for another day. But kind of talking about where Aaron Rodgers can go, I think it's quite a few places. San Francisco, if they don't reach an agreement with Brock Purdy, that's a place to go. He from the area, San Francisco. Going out to the Raiders, they need a quarterback. Maybe they can go out, but then again, that's just putting patchwork on the real problem for the Raiders. You need a fucking franchise quarterback. You need a young quarterback that you can depend on. But hey, maybe you draft a guy, he learned under Aaron Rodgers for a year or two, and then you prepare him to hit the ground running. So yeah, I would say the Raiders. Could continue to go down that line. The Saints might be another team. They could use a quarterback, but they $50-60 million over the cap, so I don't think it's much there for Aaron Rodgers to work with unless he just wanted to play. They got to get rid of a lot of guys, so that team is going to be decimated. NFC East, the Giants. Maybe he go from Jersey to Jersey, from Jets to Giants. That might make sense. They got some good defenders, and they got some offensive weapons with Malik Neighbors and Slayton. They got some pieces. So him going to the Giants, once again, that may put a cap on a larger issue for the Giants. And a larger issue, being ninja, we need a quarterback. So maybe they can trade up, get Shador or Cam Ward, and they can learn up under Aaron Rodgers for a year. And that might be the recipe. Let them physically build up, tell Rodgers, like, look here. I'm in a fucking race with a semi-truck, man. Come on, man. Damn. Let me start in the morning early. And maybe you can sit there and you can tutor one of them for 1 or 2 years. And, that may make some sense. That may make a lot of sense. So, really, NFC West, I think, outside the 49ers, that's pretty much about it. Kyler tied to Arizona, Geno tied to Seattle. You know what I'm saying? And Stafford right now tied to LA. And even if he walked away, it's like, I don't think Rodgers is the answer. Then you go AFC West, AFC North. I don't think he really fit what Mike Tomlin really want. It's time for them to, find a young quarterback, but easier said than done. That's easier said than done. So I don't think he really fit that Steelers culture. Everybody else got a quarterback. Baltimore, Cincinnati. Cleveland don't have a quarterback. Maybe so, but I don't know, man. We'll see what happens. I don't think that maybe they have to keep Myles Garrett in Cleveland. I don't know. AFC South, I think the only team that probably can really use the services there would be the Tennessee Titans. I think they got a really good football team. They just need quarterback away, in my opinion. I've been saying that. And then NFC East, I don't really see nobody can use the services there. AFC West, everybody got a quarterback but the Raiders. So, yeah, there's a couple places he can go. If he chooses to play, and I don't think he want to go out the way he went out. He'd be 2 years removed to Achilles, and maybe feel a little bit better. So once you start kind of doing that, you start kind of, saying what he need to do, being an older quarterback, probably going somewhere warm, or somebody somewhere in the dome. So you're really thinking the Raiders, the Titans, probably, 2 places you're looking. If you don't mind being in the cold, the Giants, staying in the New York area. But I think if you're going to be somewhere warm, Raiders or Titans. If I had to honestly think about it, maybe they want to reform Will Levis behind Aaron Rodgers. He looked like a lost cause, though. I would probably say Tennessee is probably the ideal fit for Aaron Rodgers. So, just my humble opinion. I think the Titans is a great fit for him. Then they can take a Travis Hunter and see what happens from there. But hey, check out the Detroit Lions Talk playlist, hit the link tree, follow me on X, Instagram, Spotify,